How long are you going to suspend that tax for?
Till it's appropriate, yeah. Till
Mr.
it's,
President,
it's a small percentage, but it's still money.
Yeah, a small percentage. 18 cents per gallon for gas, 24 cents for diesel. Is this something you support, Congressman?
Yeah, I think anytime you can lower taxes on the American people, I think it's a good thing, and we can do this while hopefully this conflict in Iran is over with as soon as possible, and you get gas prices back down. I think that's all good. What I also know is you got to complete the mission. The objective here is clear, I think, with Iran, and that is to make sure this regime, who's done all the evil things they've done over the last 47 years, killed Americans, killed Israelis, killed countless people around the globe, killed thousands of their own people. Make sure this regime doesn't get nuclear capability. That is the fundamental objective here. President Trump is determined to accomplish that goal. We should do that. Hopefully that happens as quickly as possible, and you can bring down the price of gas. But I support lowering or doing stopping the federal gas tax for whatever period of time that makes sense for us and the president to do.
I want to switch tracks. As a political geek, I'm loving the hearing that your committee is going to have, the Judiciary Committee, a hearing on the consequences of sanctuary policies. It's called Fairfax County, Virginia, the dangerous consequences of sanctuary policies. And you're going to examine how the state and local policies that prioritize illegals over U.S. citizens and prohibit cooperation with federal immigration authorities hurt public safety, and they've got really serious, far-reaching consequences. Give us a preview of what you hope to get out of this hearing.
Well, we have the prosecutor coming, Mr. Descano, who's now under investigation by the Justice Department. We also have Stephanie Minter's mom. Stephanie Minter was killed by an illegal migrant that Mr. Descano allowed to go free. When the law enforcement had told him, do not let this guy out. He is a bad guy. He will do harm. And he did it anyway. Didn't charge him. And understand, this is all part of this big plan the Democrats have. Step one was during the Biden administration to allow 10 million illegal migrants to enter the country. Step two, create sanctuary jurisdictions all over the country, which makes it difficult to remove those illegal migrants when they commit another crime. And step three was don't fund the guys who do the removing. Don't fund ICE, which is what the Democrats have done. Mr. Descano took it a step further. He said not only is he going to do those three steps, he says, and I'm not going to prosecute illegal migrants who commit crime. He said it in his website in his campaign. He said he will take into account the person's immigration status when determining what kind of charges to bring. You're not supposed to do that. But he did, and the consequences, we will hear from Thursday, Stephanie Minter's mom. She lost her life because of the stupid things, ridiculous policies of Mr. Descano.
We're looking at
and
Stephanie
the folks
right
in
here.
Fairfax County.
We look at Representative Jordan, the photos of this woman, and you think, she should be alive.
Oh, and she is one of many, Edie. And I know, Congressman, you're well aware. There are far too many victims of illegal immigrants who murdered and raped U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
It's just
18. Yeah, I was going to say, Rick, 18 cities, 11 states, 3 counties, and the District of Columbia are sanctuary jurisdictions. But because they're big populated blue areas, blue cities, blue states, that represents almost a third of the country lives in a jurisdiction where the politicians tell local law enforcement not to work with federal law enforcement when it comes to enforcing federal law. That is just stupid. That is crazy. But that is the policy, and the consequences are what we see with Miss Minter, what happened to her.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the suspect in that killing right now. And, you realize that what the DA is saying is that he's going to apply different laws to people if they're here illegally, than more lenient than Americans. I mean, it really flies in the face of reason, logic, sanity.
It does. It
does.
And
you're supposed to be representing the citizens in your county in this situation. Mr. Descano is supposed to be. Instead, he's given preferential treatment to the illegal migrants who commit some crime. That makes no sense. We will have him on the witness stand. We will be able to ask him the questions and highlight just how wrong this is. And God bless the Justice Department and Attorney General Blanche for investigating what's happening not only here, but looking at this issue. We're looking at this issue around the country. You got Krasner in Philadelphia doing the same kind of things. In fact, he even took it a further step. He said he's looking to prosecute ICE agents who come to his community and who are doing their job. That's how ridiculous the left has become.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.